So let us begin with this mantra. You can repeat after me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That Brahman is infinite. This universe is also infinite. The infinite universe came out from the infinite Brahman. But taking the infinitude of the infinite, it remains as the infinite alone. Om, peace, peace, peace. So this is the ultimate of this Upanishad. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we started in March 2023. So we have almost covered the 1 year and few months. And this Upanishad that we are studying is the Kanya portion of the Brihadaranyaka. Brihadaranyaka. Kanya portion means there is another part that is called Madhyamni. That we are not studying. We have studied as the Shankaracharya has given the commentary, so on the Kanya. The first Kanda means the chapter, is called Madhu Kanda. And it began with the Ashwamedha Yajna. And this Madhu Kanda, Ashwamedha, we know that there's a beautifully they are describing Usha Ba Ashyasya Medhasya Shira, just as a reminder that they are describing an Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha is the horse, and that will be sacrificed. But giving just an example, but then slowly taking our mind to completely different knowledge. The Ashya, the horse, is standing, and it is mentioning Usha, the dawn, that when the rising sun, that is the Ashya, that is the horse. Though it mentioned the Ashya, the horse, sacrifice, but actually the first day, every day is the beginning of our life. When we are doing anything, the first day when the sun is rising, our 1 day of our life, so important. And then that should be sacrificed. The Surya Chakshu, Vata Prana, Bhaktyam Agni, Vaishyanaraha. Surya, the sun, is the eye of that. Ear is the vital force of that. And Bhaktyam, the open mouth, is the fire. And that is called Vaishyanara. Samvatsara Atma, and the whole ear is the trunk. Now it's describing in such a way, every day you are sacrificing. Every day is passing away from your life. The human life, so precious. And if we are not properly utilizing every moment of it, then neither we are successful and happy in the mundane life, and nor we can get any spiritual life, any spiritual benefit. So it says in this way, the Samvatsara Atma, Ashyasya Medasya, of the sacrificial horse, though Prishtam, that is the heaven is the back of the horse, and Antariksha, the sky, Udara, and Panjasya Dishaha, and is the hooves, is the Disha, is the earth. Now imagine a horse. Why horse? I think in those days in India, horse was very rare. The horse, they used to come from the Middle East. And it was cow and the buffalo that were available, but not the horse. Afterwards it came. So it was very costly. And something very costly only kings can do, rich people can do. So they are describing, starting with that, people that are interested. But giving that example, they take our mind in a completely different way, and it says it is actually the day that begins. And the back of the horse is the heaven. And this earth is the hope. And you, the breathing that you are taking, that is the air. So that is the way you have to imagine and meditate. A very interesting way they described all this to us. And then this is called Ashwamedha. And the creation they begin, the creation that we find, that is a completely different way, the creation. In that Madhu Kanda, I am talking about the three Kandas in the whole Upanishad. And the first Kanda, Madhu Kanda, begins with the horse sacrifice. And horse sacrifice means you are sacrificing yourself, because every day is your day. And every day it is the sacrifice for you. So be very, very careful, because constantly you have to meditate that you are not only this flesh and blood. You are the Atman, you are the consciousness. Then it's mentioning about the creation in the same Madhu Kanda. In the Naiva Iha Kinchana Agre Asit, nothing was there in the beginning. In the beginning, what was there? When the question, before this creation, what was there? And then they say, it was actually not manifested. It was there, but it was not manifested. And manifested as we see it now. So what was there? The consciousness. Of course the consciousness was there, and we have discussed, if you remember, a group of the Buddhists, the school of Buddhism, they say it is the nothing was there. From the Shunya, Shunya means the zero, nothing was there, suddenly something has come. But the Vedanta opposes, no, it is not possible. Something cannot be produced, cannot come out of nothing. There must be something. So that is, what is that something? Some people, they simply say God. It is easy. But when we see the Vedanta, it says it is consciousness. Consciousness is present, it will be present, and every time it will be. So that Naiva Iha Kinchana Agre Asit. In the beginning, there was as if nothing was there, not in a manifested form. And then a thought arose, Atmanisyama iti. Now they don't know. They're just thinking. Maybe a thought crossed the mind. I like to be like this. Now why they thought like that? Because we also do like that. The human being, we first think that we should do this. I like to be an engineer. I like to start a business. I like to go over there. I like to cook this food. First, what comes? Thought. Then action. If there is no thought, there will be no action. Similarly, the Supreme Being, which was consciousness all-pervading, when I look at these trees, particularly in this region, when it is winter, no life at all. No leaves, nothing is there, as if all are dead. But are they dead? No. The moment this fall comes, and at the time of fall, and then they all as if dead. Afterwards, suddenly everything green. Look at around, so green, lavish green. But after a few months, it will be all dead, as if. Similar way, before the creation, nothing was there. Now, if someone is visiting Chicago here, and if I describe, a few months before, there was no tree. That's correct. That thing was there, not manifested. But now it is all there. How? As if a thought came, let there be tree. It doesn't look good. It's all dry. So we had to be green. So similarly, God also thought in that way. And the creation began. But that is called the creation. And in the creation we find one after another, it says, first it came the Prajapati, then the Hiranyagarbha, then the Virat. So some of the terminologies, the names. If the names are not there, you won't be able to think also. The Prajapati is a Sanskrit word. Praja means beings. Pati, the master. The someone who is going to rule over these beings. So Prajapati, the king, we can say. Then Hiranyagarbha. Now that Prajapati is not creating. It is actually giving another. That is called Hiranyagarbha. Garbha means the womb. Hiranya, the golden womb. So huge. And that from there the creation. Exactly the human. The thinking in that way, but in a bigger form. Then comes the Virat. Virat as we see now. All manifested. That is the creation. And in the creation, it says that the Brahman, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, Shudra, all these beings started coming. Asya sarvasya etat yat ayam atma. This way, when we think of that atmaiva idam agra asit, only the consciousness was there in the beginning. That is nothing else. So anubiksha, as if we saw. We have to imagine the consciousness, it was everywhere. Now suppose we take out all these bulbs, but electric current will be flowing. Electric is there. And if the switch is on and you put your finger, you will understand. Yeah, electric is there. So like that, though it is not manifested, there is no bulb, no light, the current is flowing, electricity is there. As because the bulbs are not there, the room is dark. Again, I repeat, electric current is everywhere over here. Just because the bulbs were not there, no light was there. Same way, consciousness was there all through. Only manifestation was not there, and it manifested. How? As if it's thought, Atmaiva idam agra asit, so anubiksha. So, oh my God, it's nothing. Now, anyat atmana apashyat. Very simple Sanskrit. No, not. Anya, other. Atmana, beings, apashyat, seeing no other being. He said, saw, and he said, nothing. No, apashyat. Sa ayam asmi iti agre vyaharat tato ayam nama avare. He said, I am only there. So the I came from there. What is this I? Why they say I? This is called ego. The moment the ego comes, immediately things start acting. Before the ego, there was nothing. After the ego, everything started coming. So this ego, now in the Christian theology, they will find that first man and the woman created by God. The God created the Adam and the Eve. And then asked them, hey, you be here, I will come and meet you. In the meantime, something happened. Someone came, gave them something, and the story goes in that way. And after that, they started feeling I. And what happened? When the God came back to meet them, they were hiding. No, we cannot come like this. Immediately God understood that they have developed body consciousness. The little big boy, as a baby, they don't bother about whether they are wearing the clothes or not. They'll be very happy moving around. Why? No body consciousness. The moment the body consciousness comes, we cannot go without covering it. I comes. When the I comes, we get separate from the Creator. The separate from the Creator, because of that, this I is coming. Aham, that I came. Why? Because he thought it is I. So how the creation is coming? It was all same. Only I came that separated. Otherwise, we are all gods. We are that consciousness. This point we should keep in mind, otherwise we won't understand the purpose of this scripture. What is the purpose of the scripture? To go back to the original. How it is possible? If the milk becomes yogurt, yogurt cannot go back to milk form. No, it cannot. So we are remaining as pure as God. We are gods ourselves. Only in between there is a confusion called I. Who created the I? That same creator. Why? Just for the play, just for the game. One created everything. And he became everything. And with that, details was there, we have already studied. So I am not going to that. Everything, the birds, the animals, the reptiles, the human being, everything came out of that. So this is called the Madhukanda, after creation. Then second chapter begins with Muni Kanda. The girl named Muni Kanda. What is the Muni? Who can say who was the Muni? We discussed. The great Rishi, great Muni, Yajnavalkya. So Muni, Kanda. Kanda means the function or action. The Yajnavalkya is the Muni. Though we think that the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Muni is Yajnavalkya, but it is one portion of it. There are three portions. First portion about the creation, and second about debate. And this only Muni means only Kanda, the program function, the different type of things happen. The main character is the Yajnavalkya. Why? He was the Brahmagyani. And after the realization of the Brahman, one can understand everything. Everything he can understand. And that is why they say in some of the scripture, who can be called as God? Who knows everything? The past, present and the future. Everything. Now one person died and his people, they were thinking, oh my God, what will happen? They kept his dead body in a cave. And in the meantime, Lord Jesus was coming to that. They said, please, he was so beloved to you and he has passed away. Please give life back to him. What Jesus did, just called him, hey, come. And he came out, truly. And we think, oh, is it possible? It is possible. Because Jesus is nothing but the God. That power is there. Sometimes they don't show it, otherwise they can easily show it. And the same thing in many different places also we find that they are all coming back. You know what happened? One person, the very famous, in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's biography, those who have read, you know, he was an author and a dramatist. His son was sick, almost going to die. Then he thought, what is it? My son will die? He called the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna passed away. So he called them and he told, you must keep your hand on his head and take the name of Lord and give back the life. Are you mad? No, he is dead. We cannot give them. No. He is not dead. He is just lying over there. You have to bring him back. Swami Vivekananda kept his hand, took the name of Lord, did the japa on his head, and the boy became all right. So these are the things really that happens. So naturally, when we hear that God has all power, it is true, God can do. Usually it will never do. Why? Karma bala. Now, the president of this country has every right to say, oh, that man in the jail, give him free. No, he has that. pardoning capacity. Power is there. But if he goes on pardoning everyone, then there will be no law. So that is the reason the God can do, but you won't do, because you have done something good, you must enjoy. You have done something bad, karma phala, you must suffer. God can redo it or just pardon you, but God won't do. So that is the rule. That this rule he is following, so this is the creation. Then Yajnavalkya Muni came, and there's a great debate went on in the Yajnavalkya, and Ushastra requested the Yajnavalkya to describe the Brahman, and that it was not possible. Brahman, and we know that very wonderfully it is mentioning Yajnavalkya, he said, no, you cannot describe. It is not possible. So when you are asking to describe the Brahman, that is not possible. Brahman is something that you have to realize. And he says, Drishte drashtaram napashye. You cannot see the seer. You cannot see the seer. Something which is seeing, you cannot see that. But sometimes the people, they don't understand, why can't we see God? Prove that God is there. It is not possible. You have to feel it, understand it, realize it, because it is a subjective. It is not something object. Anything objective, that you can show. You can give a name, you can give a form, you can go, touch it, taste it, see it. But God is not like that. The God is within you, your own being. You have to feel it. So that is why it says, no, it is not possible. How can you say? He said, Yajnavalkya, can you please show me or tell me? As you say, this is a horse. Similarly, this is God, this is Brahman. Can you please show me? Then he said, no, you cannot. Drishte drashtaram na pashe. You cannot see the seer. Vijnataram na vijaniyam. You cannot know the knower. You cannot know the knower, the great computer. They know everything. But suppose the person who has created the computer has not given any information about him. If you ask the, hey, who is the creator? Computer won't be able to answer. Computer knows everything in this world. But if it was not fed that particular information, it cannot bring and say. No, it is not possible. So obviously, Vijnataram na Vijaniya. You are that. You need not to tell. Somebody will come and tell you that this is you. No, it is not. Sometimes people, because of the age and maybe sometimes because of some sickness, they forget. That is a different thing. But a normal person, if someone comes and says, oh, you are not so and so, you are so and so, you say, no, it is not. I know who am I. And even the whole world says you are not, you are confident that I know who am I. That is called realization. I am Brahman, that realization. And if others says, no, you are not, you will believe it because your realization, I know this is me. So that he is mentioning, you cannot know. Then the famous Rishi, the Uddala, Gargi, all asked a different type of questions. And Gargi also trying to put him in a very difficult situation. So that is called Muni Kanda. That we already studied in Muni Kanda, the second chapter. And all that after the debate, he said, see, this is the truth. If you accept it, understand it, good for you. If you don't, it's up to you. What is the truth? You are that consciousness. Unnecessarily, you are thinking you are not and you are suffering. You are not supposed to suffer. You are supposed to enjoy. because everything is nothing but you. This is me. I am everywhere. When I am telling this, you don't believe it. No, it is not possible. Because the limitation that has come into our consciousness, into our thought, we cannot ever think everything is nothing but me. But truly, we are that. How? As consciousness. As consciousness, we are that everywhere. It is very, very difficult to realize that. The most greatest challenge is that. But once you can overcome, why it is challenging? Because your mind is conditioned in such a way. You don't like to think about it. And what is the way you will realize? Correcting your mind. The mind is spoiled. Mind is the problem. Now through that mind only I have to reach. That's why Shankaracharya said, Manashuddhi Prakarana. You have to purify your mind constantly. You have to go on thinking, pondering, listening, meditating. Then your mind will start understanding. It's so subtle. You can understand very subtle things of the science, mathematics, but very, very difficult to understand the spirituality. Very difficult to understand. Now, when Jesus said, you are the blessed one, the blessed are those, because they will see God. Blessed are those whose minds are pure. Now, pure mind means what? We cannot think of it. What is a pure mind? The moment you are having the pure mind, you will see God. Blessed are those who are pure in mind. They will see God. And at the same time, he is telling, the kingdom of heaven is within you. What is the kingdom of heaven? Happiness. There is the joy. Kingdom of heaven. It is not a geographical boundary. It is a joy, the happiness. If we don't understand that, what is kingdom of heaven? Oh, it must be on the top of the hill, it is down. Nothing like that. It is not a geographical place. It is only the happiness, the joy. How? Because I am everything. Wherever anyone is successful, I enjoy that. So this is the way they describe. And now we are entering into the third kanda, the third chapter, and it says Khila Kanda. This Khila Kanda is very interesting. After this highest description of the Atman, the Brahman, suddenly it means start telling you that if you can understand where to go after death, that is you should understand. Now, bringing down the level so that the ordinary people can also start with. The moment you give that height, it is not possible. So sometimes the people, they go for the scaling the height and all that. They start in the school and they'll be going on the wall, and if they're falling, their protections are there. By that way they learn. And then they will go, and all alone, even sometimes without oxygen, they are going on the top, the summit of the hill, the Mount Everest and all that. We have many practice, so giving the practice. The Khila Kanda is that practice. And here it says, Khila Kanda, there's the sixth and the second Brahmana, it tells through a story. This is Shvetuketu. Shvetuketu, his father is the Aruni, and his grandfather was Aruna. Aruni, Shvetuketu. And that's why they're addressing in this way, Shvetuketu Hava Aruniya. Aruniya means the Aruni's son, not Arun's son. Aruni's son. And who is Aruni? Arun's son. Just this, because this is not just a story. This is a history. There is a people like this. And in the Panchala is the state. They went to Panchala and Parishadam Ajagama. He went to the king's palace of the Panchala, and the Brahmana, Brahmana is a man of knowledge, but he was a little egoistic. So he knew, I know Brahman, I know everything. By that way, he entered into the king's palace. The king, all people were attending the king. King saw him and immediately realized that he is an egoistic person. The way he is walking and standing. So once the Shetuketu, the grandson of Aruna, the son of Aruni, visited the court of Prabhavan. Prabhavan is the king. He is the king of Panchal. King knew about his short temper. To test, he addressed him Kumara, not as a holy person. He was a Kumara, hey boy, where from you have come? And immediately he became angry. And he said, oh, ho means honorable sir. It's an insulting way. Usually the ho is says when you are meeting your guru, but not now, in those days. In those days, they used to meet in that way. The Brahmana, your teacher, your guru, when you are going before him, he said, oh, I have come, announcing that I have come. Here that boy, in reply, he said, oh. And the king understood that he wanted to insult him. As per the tradition, now, this king, Prabhavan, he was also a man of knowledge. And he ignored the insult and asked him, hey, I think your father has taught him all about the scripture. Of course, he said. I'm a Brahmana, I know all the scriptures. Sometimes you will find the younger people, after reading something, they become very egoistic, particularly the spiritual, this thing, that gives another type of ego. I know this, I know that. So that egoistical way, he said, yeah, I have studied everything. Then the king started asking him, one after another. He asked him 5 questions. Can you please tell me, O Shetuketu, after death, how many people take different paths? After death, the people take different paths. According to their thoughts, just at the time of death, whatever thought is there in your mind, you will go to that place. That's for sure. That is the reason they say you must take initiation and go on repeating the name of God. So what happens at the time of death? By sheer practice, you will go on telling the name of God. And that will save you. Because the thought, whatever is there, exactly the time of death, there you will go. There's no other chance. So, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna giving their one beautiful story. 2 friends, they were going, suddenly they saw in one place inside a temple, someone is expounding some holy book, holy scripture. He said, I like to go over there. The other one said, no. Well, what they are going to discuss. I like to go to a pub and I like to drink and I like to enjoy the dances. Okay, no problem. After 1 hour or 2 hours, we will meet again over here. So he went inside the temple and other one went to the pub. After taking 1 or 2 drinks, he started thinking, oh my God, the nasty, the smell and the tremendous sound and all these people, how they behave. I'm in a hell. But look at my friend. He is sitting in a very holy place and listening to the holy the discussions. He is blessed. I am in a hell. He was thinking in that way and repenting. So I should have gone over there. Now what happened? Both of them, they suddenly died sitting over there itself. One was over there in the pub, another in the temple. But look at it. The Yoma's followers, Yoma usually take to the hell. His followers came to the person who was sitting inside the temple. And Vishnu's followers, they came to take the person who was sitting in the pub. Now the person who was sitting in the temple, he protested, hey, what is it? I was in the temple. My friend has gone to the path. So you are supposed to take him. He has committed sin. But when the representatives they say, Yamas, you were sitting over here, but what you were thinking? You sat in a holy place, no doubt. But you were thinking about that place, and he was actually thinking, oh, why I have entered into it, now I cannot go up, get up and go. Now my friend is enjoying the drinks and dances. Look at me, I am a fool, I took a wrong decision, etc. He was going on thinking about the pub, sitting in a temple. And that boy was sitting in a pub and thinking about the temple. When they passed away, then they had to go to the completely different ones. Because thought. It is not the body where it is. If I am living in a householder's life, it doesn't matter anything. But if you are thinking about God all the time, He will go to heaven. That's for sure. It is not the body, it is not the dress, it is not the food. It is the thought. Thought is most important. And that's why they say you have to go on thinking positive way constantly. Otherwise, whatever you are practicing externally, people may come and touch your feet and say, oh, you are a great holy soul. But actually, you don't know when the right time will come. No. And that is that he says, after death, how people take different paths because of the karma. But this boy, he studied something else. And he was not having this practical thing. This is a complete different, it is not about the Atma. It is about that after the parting soul, where it will go. Usually the Hindus, they believe there are two different places. One is the place of the mains, that is our Purva Purusha, all our ancestors, and there is God. If you are thinking about God, you will go to that God. Whatever God you think about. Why? Because sometimes some people are very happy and having the kirtan of the Vaishnavas. There's somebody there, Hare Krishna, they like that. So they will go over there. Because that company is there, they feel it's good. Those who like our company in the Vedanta, they will come over after the death. Again we will meet. Hey, how are you? We will say to each other. But not now, maybe after a few years. So that is the way it goes, because with the same mind, you won't feel like going over there. You like to. So that is the way it goes. Mind only. It is not the thing that you are eating, or the dresses you are wearing, or the work that you are doing, and the places you are staying. Nothing matters. It's the thought only. If you are thinking properly, that will guide you to a higher. But that boy was not knowing. So he said, sorry, I don't know. Then he next day asked the question, how those souls come back to earth? Now after departing after death, they go to different lokas. They call loka, the places. Now he is asking, that is not permanent. So surely they are coming back to earth again. We take rebirth. So obviously, do you know how they come back? Because of the karma phala again. It says in the Chandogya Upanishad, very clearly mentioned, and many other Upanishads, in the Bhagavad Gita also, exactly the moment of death, whatever you think, that your mind will go there. Because the body will be lying. But mind, that is not, you cannot burn the mind. It is subtle, then it will float. And you know how immediately after death, they don't go away. That they will hovering over there. They try to enter into that body. So, and naturally they will be coming to the people whom they knew, and they will be trying to talk to them. Even sometimes they will be trying to touch them. After the death, they will feel sometimes that suddenly you are feeling some uncanny feeling type of, but you don't know mostly, something is happening. So that is not that they will come and stand before you. It is very difficult to take the body. So obviously, they will try to touch you, and their touch will give you a feeling that is a completely different type. So that we are afraid of that. The people, mostly the people are afraid. You know, one of our Swami He was sitting and writing, and alone he was talking. Well, Swami Ishatmananda. He was a very famous Swami. And he was talking to a person who was there for 50 years, looking after the garden and many other things. Now he passed away. And those who went to meet the Swami, it was the daytime. And he was sitting after the breakfast and he was studying something, reading, writing. And he told, oh, okay. Now it is long time you were here. Don't be here now. Go to the Thakur, wherever Thakur takes you, go over there. And you need not to bother about what is happening. It will continue in this way. You have served for 50 years, that's sufficient. Those who came, they understood, because the previous day that person passed away, and Swamiji was talking with him, and they could feel that person is standing over there. That means that soul, that Atman is there. And they were so much afraid. But the Swami was talking as if he's standing there. He had that capacity. So he was not at all afraid. And he could see him, he could talk to him and convincing him, forget about all this. Take your mind and go away. Most of the people who are very much attached to the body, attached to the family, attached to something, maybe a doggy, maybe a cat, maybe these and that, they come back. Because it is the mind, it is the love. So they come back again and again. And try. After 13 days, sometimes 15 days, sometimes 17 days, as per the attachment, they go into slumber because they get tired. They're going on trying to communicate and nothing is happening. So they get tired and they say, okay, now they go into slumber. Maybe they go to sleep. And that time, a force come and take them. And take them to a place called Moon, Chandra, not this Chandra, maybe some area, where they go and they rest. From there, according to their karma phala, they will be sending to them to different places. Mostly the Hindus, they go to two different places. One is the place of their Purva Purusha, remains, and another the God. Many they worship only God, but they are not so much attached to their ancestors, so they go to the gods. Whatever God they will go. They will get the same type of company. Not that they are seeing the bodies and people, not like that, but the feeling, they will be happy over there. And after sometimes, maybe according to their tremendous desire, sometimes some people 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, they will be there. They don't like to come back. So they will be spending over there. But sometimes, after a few days even, the pull will come because the desire, I have to go, I have to perform those things, they will come back. And when they are coming back, they choose their parents, father and the mother. And through the food, they enter into the father's body. So this is the way they say everything happens like that. He was asking this. In our Atharva Veda, that also, the description is there. And Chandogya Upanishad, it also says like this. And he is asking, how does soul come back to earth? But this young boy was not knowing. He said, sorry, I don't know. Third he asked, do you know why other world, that means Yamaloka, they were filled up, though so many people are dying? Because the karma phala, they always goes, not that all the time they will be there. And when the karma phala is over, again they will be posted somewhere there, like this, they will have to go. I go to after death, people go to the Yamaloka, and they will be assessing, you have done some good, okay, you will be here. And some bad, well, you have to get punishment. Like this it goes on. And there's a funny story. The one very clever person, he knew from the beginning that whatever you do, that result you have to bear. So he calculated all through his life. And when he passed away, when he died, it was 50% good and 50% bad. Exactly 50-50. Now the Yama's office was in confusion. He said, oh my God, then what to do? as 50-50, so 5 years you should be in the hell and 5 years in the heaven because of the good work. Now, where past? The Yama, the king of death, told, give him the option. So he was very happy. He said, I have to visit that place past. Then only I can choose. So first they took him to heaven. A very nice place, calm, quiet, very neat and clean. The flower trees, people are singing bhajan, and all are so friendly, happy. He said, well, it is a good place, but life is not there. But let me see the heaven, hell. So they took him to hell. Oh my God. There's a tremendous sound is there, all people are dancing, free drinks, free food. He said, is this hell? So, yeah. So, okay. Then I like to change my 5 years in heaven over here. So all the 10 years I like to be in the hell. So, think of it properly. Otherwise, afterwards you should not blame us. No. I can give you in writing. I'd like to be in the hell. So everything is so enjoyable. So they wrote that, well, he'll be 10 years from the hell. He won't go to heaven. Next day when they came, it was the daytime. They entered into a black door. They opened the door and very bad smell. And he saw the people crying over there. Hey, what is it? Why they're beating them? This is hell. And in the hell, this happens only. What was that? Yesterday night you showed me? Oh, that was our advertisement department. So they were advertising hell in such a way that people get attracted to come to hell. So that is our advertising department. So sometimes you should be careful about advertising. That's not all true. So here it says, why in the people who die and go to that Yamaloka, they are not fooled because completely it should be filled up, whole thing. No, because the souls are going on, passing. Actually, he wanted to know about the karma phala. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't know. Do you know how the yajna water becomes living? That when you are performing the yajna, that becomes living. That you can talk to God. That is a mantra is there, that will be really, that is possible. And you can talk to them. Then I don't know. And finally he said, do you know the paths of men and the paths of gods? He said, sorry, I don't know. And he became so frustrated, angry. He went back to his father. And he said, Father, you didn't tell me all these things. And I was insulted by that person. I am a Brahmana. I went over there to teach him. Now, I have to come back and get insulted from there. The king asked me all these questions. I couldn't answer. That means you have not taught me. The father told, believe me, I was also not knowing. I was also not knowing all these questions and answers. Let both of us go, because this is totally different thing. We already all studied about the Brahman, the Atman. But the life that is here, how it happens, the karma phala, we don't know. So let us go. His son told, I am not going to go there. You better go. Then the father went and he told the king, said, I like to be your disciple. Will you please teach me this thing? Then the king told, see, we generally don't teach any Brahmana. This is the secret for the Kshatriyas. But anyway, if you are interested, I can teach you, but you have to become my disciple. You have to accept it. He accepted and he started learning. And this is in the called Khila Kanda, third one. So we find the king is teaching him the way how to life goes. Maybe it indicates that this is the highest result of the rituals. Rituals and rites. The Swarga or the Naraka or the hell and the heaven is the ultimate goal of the rituals. So that is actually they are teaching here. First is the Brahman. If you get the Brahma Jnana, you get total liberation. But if you are worshipping and then trying to reach to a very good place, it's heaven, but you have to come back again. Heaven is not for permanent. You have to come back again. When your work will be, result of work will be over, you have to come back. Like the hell. After that you will come back. So this is this. So that is the way they were teaching. Here we find one mantra is very wonderfully, before the death, one is praying. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihutam mukham taddam pushana pavinu satya dharmaya drishtai. And then long the sloka goes. It says, when the person is dying, he sees that the ultimate, that Brahman, that is like glow like a gold, is there, but he cannot see clearly because something is covering the face. So he is praying to the sun, can you please remove that plate of gold which is covering the face of the truth? I like to see the truth because I am that truth. I am that truth. Now I like to go and meet that. So please remove that golden plate. And where the golden plate means all the temptations, a name, fame, and property, wealth, and all that, that is the golden plate. That is covering the truth, that is covering the face of the God. The moment you take it away, you see God. So when the Jesus was there, he was not having any property. He could, but he could have those. So much of followers were there, but he didn't bother about that. But we, the followers of Jesus, are having a lot of property. Jesus was having the God, but not the property. We are having the property, not the God. So this is, we have to understand, this world and the God together they are God. And in Hindi, there is a couplet, I always say, Jahan Ram, tahan nahi Kaam. Where there is desire, there is no Rama. And where there is Rama, there should not be any desire. Jahan Kaam, tahan nahi Ram. Jahan Ram, tahan nahi Kaam. The choice is yours. If you want this world, okay, now you can enjoy, no problem. But you will have to suffer. But if you want God, then you won't get this worldly wealth and fame, nothing. So that is the choice. In between path is the we go to heaven. So that is why in the 3rd chapter, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad teaching us, if you cannot go for that higher place, for the liberation, you better try to go to heaven by worshipping God. So this way you can have. So this is also a nice path. So friends, thank you for attending this class and attending this discourse. This is about the Brahma Jnana. And who is that Brahman? I, you, every being. Why? Because there was nothing but Brahman. And that Brahman has created these. And obviously, each and every one of us made of that only. Suppose there is only sugar. And from the sugar, the confectioner is making different type of the sweets. It may be a bird, it may be an animal, it may be a human form, it may be round shape, it may be triangle. But all are sweets, all are sugar only. Different names, different forms, but it will be same. We are also the same. All this that we see is nothing but the consciousness. Where this consciousness inside us. Now, we are so careful about our physical body. We go to gym, we take care of the physical body. We are so careful about our mind. Sometimes we go to the doctors also and to get some advices, and we hear music, we have friends to talk to, we take care of their minds also. But what about the soul? We are not careful about the soul at all. But that is the main thing. And without the soul, we are nothing. But we don't believe that. It is very peculiar. We don't believe that without the soul we are dead. And we mix up the soul as our mind. The mind is not the soul. Mind only gets activated when the soul is there. Otherwise, no. So that is the reason we have to take care of our soul. And to take care of our soul, we have to go to holy places. We have to read holy books. Or we have to hear about the holy words. What are the holy words? What are the holy books? It says that makes your mind broad is holy. If anything that makes your mind narrow, unholy. That makes you selfish, unholy. And when your mind is broad, you can love everyone, you can accept everyone, that is holy. In one time, Swami Vivekananda, he wrote to one of his brother disciples, I don't know whether I have realized God or not, but my mind has become so broad, so vast, that I can accept even devil if there is a devil. I am ready to accept it. So that was the maximum way of thinking. He said, expansion is life, contraction is death. So friends, that is the thing. We always closing up and suffering. But if we spread out, that is the joy, that is the happiness. Different paths may be there, but the goal is the happiness. Maybe Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism. But what is all this for? Happiness only. If we don't get happiness in my religion, following the religion, then what is the use of practicing that? So much of fasting, so much of charity, so much of all those practices, after that I am not happy. Then useless, everything lost. So we have to be happy. How? By loving others, by caring others, by praying for others. So religion is nothing but L-O-V-E. The moment we truly understand that, we become Brahman or God ourselves. So thank you. Is there any question?
Joyjit Paul is asking, Maharaj, neither the dream is true nor the waking state, but I am the witness consciousness experiencing these waking, dreaming and deep sleep state, and I am through and through all of them. Is that correct?
Of course. I think that someone, or maybe you questioned the other day. So we are witnessing the passing things. So when I say, I was a little boy, I grew up to be a young man, now I am an elderly person, now I am going to be old, like that going on, mentioning about me and the changes of the body, changes of the mind, I is present always. I was a little boy, I am a grown-up man, I am young, etc. I is present everywhere. That I is the witness. The I is the consciousness. If that was not there, how could you record the changes? That is good. The Jagrat, Sapna, Susupti. In the Sapna time, in the dreaming time, also I am present. I have seen the dream. Not that somebody else is seeing the dream, I am a victim. No. Sometimes if someone is lying just by my side, and when he is seeing the dream, and in the dream he is fighting with someone, and he is giving the blow, that may affect me, because I am looking. But otherwise, his dream or her dream is not affecting me, my dream, and I see my dream. So when I am seeing my dream, if I am aware, I am seeing the dream, there is no fear. But when I get involved into the dream, mostly we do that, we are affected by the dream. Sometimes a tiger is chasing me. I am lying on my bed, but I will be perspiring. My heartbeat will go up. In the dream itself, there is so much that affects. But if you can become Shakshi, the witness, nothing will affect you. It is very true. All three stages, I should be the Shakshi. That's it. Thank you.
Devashish is asking, in what way by doing meditation can we control our desires and accept the fact that whatever God has given us, I am happy without any complaint?
Devashish is a very good question, you know. It's a very subjective way and analysis. When you look back, there's so many friends that we were having. We don't know what happened to them. Many of them have passed away. Many of them were not successful. In our classes, in school classes, some were very good sports persons, some were very good the result. He was first in the class. Now nowhere. Look at me. I am surviving. I am happy and having so many friends and family. This is God's grace. So we have to think in the positive way and should be happy. When you see someone else successful, instead of being jealous, if we inquire about how he became successful, in not bad way, of course, but in a good try, then I can also develop my qualities, my efficiencies, and I can earn more money, and of course, a different appreciation from the society. So instead of criticizing, if I take it as a positive way, that also is very good. And that is why they say, that when you see someone at your back, then pray for them. When you see someone in your front successful, then try to be friendly with them. Learn from them instead of being jealous and criticizing. That will help you. But all the time be thankful to God. You're still surviving. There are so many people, they could not even survive. You are surviving, you have family, you have friends, you have something to do. That is sufficient in this life. By that way, if you pray, you are always happy. So that happiness, friends, you know, it is very subjective. Very, very subjective. I told you, perhaps some of you will remember. So some of us, 4 Swamis, we were newly ordained sannyasi. So we went to the very Hindu famous pilgrimage center, and from there when we were coming back, these are public buses. It's not like American buses. It's all empty, no people, only the driver and one person maybe. These are all crowded, you know, Indian buses, and that is a hilly area. So small buses. So what happened, 4 of us, we went the first, and we got the first seat by the window side so that we can enjoy the scenery. And suddenly my friend, he said, let us go and purchase something as a gift for other Swamis. So we too went down, keeping this chadar on the seat as a result that we were there. But when he came back, we saw the 2 hefty, strong person sitting over there. So it's very difficult to even talk to them. So what to do? And we saw this chadar is hanging on the rod. So we took up the chadar and then talked to that contractor. There's a contractor, see, this was our seat. And now how we will go? 2 of our friends are sitting here. We cannot divide, next bus we cannot come. So how, sir, I cannot ask these people. They are very bad type of people, local people. So I cannot go but I can allow you, though it is not permissible, only you, to stand in the bus, if you can go in that way. We were young and we thought it is nothing, we can go. But I was going on complaining to the friend because of you. Otherwise we were sitting over here. Because of you, unnecessarily we got down. You know what we purchased? Ganga water. And Ganga, in Vellore Math, Ganga is flowing by the side of the Vellore Math. And for that, we purchased Ganga water in the Himalaya. And you know that sealed Ganga water is available. So we purchased the Ganga water. Because of that, we have lost a seat. He was going on listening, and very calm type of person. And after that he told, did you notice? All these people, they only seeing only right side or left side. They cannot see the front, they cannot see the back. Moreover, The sitting area is small, the leg space is very small. Somehow they are sitting, they are not very happy sitting over there. They cannot enjoy the whole scenario. Look at us. We can go walking at the back, then see the back side, walk in the front, we can see the front side, left side, right side, and since we are walking, so no leg pain. Then I started thinking in that way and I became very happy. That's true. So we have rather benefited. Instead of sitting over there, we are standing and enjoying the full that drive that we came down. So thinking, if you change the thought, you're happy. The same thought, oh, I lost something, I could get something, you're unhappy. There's a really practical way. God has given me this much, I'm so happy. God has given you, and you're blessed. Go ahead, be happy. So happiness is very, very positive way of thinking, and we must have to be happy. Whatever the condition, I am happy. So that is the way we have to survive. Again.
Ram is asking, does the ability to rely on the will of God and accept what is dealt to us in life help us become a Jivan Mukta?
He is asking or giving the statement?
He's asking, does it help us becoming a Jivan Mukta?
Acha. So, that is everything that is happening is the will of God, right? That is the question.
Relying on God, does it help us becoming a Jivan Mukta?
See, Jivan Mukta is a Sanskrit word. You are liberated, you are free while you are living. So why we are in bondage? Because we have desires. So what are the desires? People should appreciate me. People should give respect to me. Yeah, I should have this, I should have that. All these desires are there. Now, when you are overcoming those desires, when there is no desire at all, you are completely free. That's called Jivan Mukta. Now, if you are getting something, you are not very happy, you are adjusting that God has given me, it's okay. We cannot call it as a Jivan Mukta, but we can call that as a good way of adjusting the life. Even if you were crying because you didn't get anything, you are not going to get it. But if you think God has given me this, it is okay, you are satisfied. That's also a good way of thinking and becoming happy. Jivan Mukta is completely different. There is no desire at all. No question of God giving or I am acquiring. No desire at all. That's called Jivan Mukta. The small children, they don't have any desire at all. They are here very happy. They'll be running here and there, touching this, touching that. And if you take them, again they'll be playing over there. Anywhere, anything, they are always happy. There's no desire at all. And who is becoming the President of America? Don't bother at all. So that is no desire means you're happy. Whatever comes, I'm happy. So thank you, friends. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. And any question from the audience here? No? Okay. No. Any question? No. Let us say Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 Hari Om. Tat Sat. The next Sunday we'll be discussing other Upanishad only, because the knowledge of the Upanishad, that is the series where some other Upanishad will be discussed. Thank you.